Broughton Park Rugby Union Football Club, one of the oldest and most respected rugby clubs in the UK, was established in 1882, relocating to several different areas and presently at its new facility at Hough End in Chorlton, South Manchester. So how has this club managed to stay on its feet in such a renowned soccer city? And as an amateur club in a professional world, how is it funded? And who are the organisers of such a respected club? Broughton Park, an amateur club in a professional world.
The first time I ever heard of Broughton Park was about 60 years ago. Now I come from a little place which is actually very close to John O'Groats. It's about 500 miles from Manchester. Now I had no idea where Broughton Park was. Probably in those days, at that age, didn't even know where Manchester was. Then 40 years later or 30 years later, I find myself in Manchester, and lo and behold, just down the road was Broughton Park. And I thought, I've heard of them.
I first came when my son was about 5 years old, which is about 25 years ago, so it's quite a long time. Got interested, got hauled in off the touchline to help training the kids. In 2003, I sort of got much more involved in the administration. And then, must be about 6 or 7 years ago, I took over as chairman. I did a 3-year stint, but a lot of pressure comes with being chairman.
Broughton Park are one of the oldest clubs in the UK. Our foundation date, 1882. That's why we're called Broughton Park Football Club, because we were formed at a time before association football and rugby football split. So we are just a football club.
We've got some documents from the Prestwich area, which is where it was originally formed, Broughton Park in fact. And there is a map of an old cabbage patch actually where Prestwich Golf Club is now. And it looks as though there were people playing rugby in those days as well.
In the late 90s, the sport of rugby became professional, but not for Broughton Park. They remain an amateur club, and with that came funding issues.
The club itself has had some great days in the past. It's produced players that have played for England, the Barbarians, the British Lions. We've had a huge number of players who've played at the highest level.
And the club was very, very popular, very successful. And then, of course, in the late 90s, the game became professional and changed dramatically clubs like ours.
Because there is not the money in rugby that there is in football. Crowds are nowhere near as large. There is not the background to sustain professionalism for all the clubs who might have wanted to be up there.
Manchester is very much a soccer city, and rugby is not that well supported. So we literally can't afford to play the players. So our constitution says we're an amateur club, and we intend to remain an amateur club.
So, is the club solvent? Are the funds enough? And do they feel that remaining an amateur club was the right choice to make?
All our funds come in via membership or hire of the facility, and that's how the club runs. So we do get gift aid donations from members of the club, but it's mainly memberships and all the facility usage that we charge. And I think we can compete quite well with them. If you look at our facilities here, we're very lucky in the fact that we've got this sort of facility. Most clubs in amateur league status don't have these facilities that Broughton Park have.
We've chosen the right way. We're not rich, but we've got a fantastic facility. That's where we want to be. The standard of rugby that we're playing is very good, it's very high, it's very exciting, a very competitive league. We're in the right place.
Broughton Park's standard of rugby and its new facilities have enabled the club to grow successfully since 1882, attract players and, more importantly, supporters. The enthusiastic commitment and attitude of the staff are what makes this club a very friendly and inviting experience. Broughton Park, a successful amateur club with a professional attitude, has brought amateur rugby to the fore in Manchester and will continue to strive.